My name's Jane Cole and I'm subject leader for law, and that involves I'm responsible for the A-level and also for the BTEC applied law. Law A-level involves a range of topics that we cover. So any student that's going to choose to do law will learn about the background of our legal system, how laws are made, how they're administered through the courts, how our sentencing system works, how our court system works, in the sense that you learn about magistrates and juries and judges and solicitors. So you get a real background in the law, but we also often we say that we're almost teaching students to work a little bit like a solicitor or a lawyer. So what they do is they'll learn about areas of the law, and then they'll be presented with a scenario, and from the law that they've learned they'll be able to apply that as though they were advising a client. So it kind of gives a sort of taste of what it might be like to study law at university. And we learn about criminal law. In particular, we learn about the non-fatal offences, which are things like grievous bodily harm, and students quite enjoy doing that because that's quite interesting. And we also learn about the fatal offences, which is murder, manslaughter, and we also learn about theft, robbery and burglary. So learning law A-level, you'll cover a range of things in that area of the law, and you also not only learn to apply it, but also evaluate it and see what's good and bad about the law as we've got it at the moment. With the civil law, we learn a bit about those kind of areas where say somebody's left a banana skin on the steps on the way into school, and the teachers should have cleaned it up, and they walk past and a student falls on it, then they might get hurt, they might break their leg, they might end up with permanent damage. That would be the kind of thing that they could claim for. So we learn about areas of the law like that. So they're very common areas of the law, the areas of the law that probably as a solicitor most people would be working in. And also at Newman College we particularly focus later on the law of contract, partly because it's an easier area of law to do well in the exam, and also because it's such a sort of foundation to a law degree. It's the main area of law that you would be doing if you studied it later. And it's about life, actually. It's about, if I go shopping, I need to know what my rights are. It's a valued A-level academically because it really tests skills, and it tests it develops those kind of application skills and evaluative skills that you will need when you go on to university. So if you want to go to university, or my students also go into other things other than university. Well, I'd say with the A-level, all of them have gone on to university, but some will have gone into art. I had one student she wants to do an art foundation, so she went that direction. A lot go and study law. I would say 50% are interested in law. A lot choose to do things like criminology, and a lot choose to do things like business, international law and business. So that has been the most common direction recently in the last couple of years. We also have actually an opportunity that happens for a lot of our students called the Social Mobility Business Partnership, and that's we work with the Social Mobility Foundation locally to develop a work experience for students, and we sort of offer that opportunity. So they go and spend a week working with various businesses in London for a day, and they're based at Amex for another day, and they work with students across the county. And then following on from that, they can go the following year at the end of their A-levels for a 3-week internship where they get experience of working in a big top firm in London, and also they're based in King's College London, and they have sort of input from current business and legal students. So I think that business and law direction is one that quite a lot of students choose to take.
Law is absolutely amazing. Like, the department is so interesting, and the detail that they put in, it's like we get these amazing learning resources which are so detailed and so helpful, and especially over like lockdown, I thought it was really good to have those resources on hand at all time. And I just think the subject's really interesting. It teaches you a lot about society, just about how like our system works, and I think it opens a lot of doors. So we went on a trip last year to like the Magistrates Court in Brighton, and I know that we were meant to have other trips like meeting with judges and them talking to us. We actually watched a couple cases, which was really interesting.
I think law is very current. The way it's taught as well, we looked at, for example, although we're not in the EU anymore, we looked at EU regulations and how they did bind the UK. And I think just in general, having the knowledge of how the legal system works, looking at like property offences or occupiers' liability, you kind of appreciate that in the law there is a certain expectation that you have as a person, as a reasonable person, to you have a certain duty to different people, and then your duty might be more to a certain person based on their characteristics or how they think and act as a person. So I think it's very relevant, and it's good knowledge to have, even if you don't go into it as an avenue in later life. It's just having that contextual knowledge is so important, because it kind of helps you appreciate your standing within society almost.